Thank you so much for joining me. And amazingly, the furry one is joining us too. I tempted him by a promise of a brush. So, having promised, I'm doing it, just as I promised to tell you some stories. The one I'm going to start with is a story from when I would be about 6 or 7, I suppose. We always saved up to go on a week's holiday somewhere like Llandudno. And my granddad came and my auntie came, and we'd go to a bed and breakfast and have a lovely week. It was always exciting going to the train station and getting on the train and finding our way to the bed and breakfast place. And so we decided, Mum and Dad had decided that we could go to a show on the pier. That was a huge treat. And there was a show on the television called the Charlie Chester Show. And it was light entertainment. It had girls in there, the big feathers on their heads and the skimpy little outfits, doing synchronized dancing. Now, don't eat the comb, Myschka. That's not a good idea. And comedians and everything else, I suppose. And this guy, Charlie Chester, was quite a personality. They also had games that they encouraged the audience to, well, they encouraged is not the right word. They would bring participants, shall we say, from the audience. Now, unbeknown to us, my dad had decided that if they had one of these games, it was something to do with music, that he would volunteer. They did. So he did. My mum didn't know. She was amazed when my dad jumped up and one of these befeathered ladies took him by the hand and took him up onto the stage. So my dad didn't win, but he came second, and his prize was a wallet. So fine and dandy. Anyway, the next game, or a later game, was one in which women participated. And it was women only. The other one, I think, had been either gender, but this one was just women. And they asked for, have we got any housewives in the audience? And my mum just stood up. And what's going on here? She was grabbed and she was on her way before she realised what was happening. My mum was the most nervous person I have ever met. Somebody who liked to always be in the background. She was always doing, but never up front. But she had no choice. She was on her way. And my granddad and dad and myself were all going, oh no, what's going to happen? Fortunately, she had seen the game on the television. And it was one in which each contestant had a pile of plates and a big sucker. They had to, sorry, I'm just putting that down a minute, Myschka. They had to suck a plate up on the sucker, run across the stage, put it down, go back until they'd got all of their plates. And obviously, the first one was the winner. Well, a lady finished just before Mum, but she smashed one of her plates. So they announced my mother as the winner. So typical Mum. No, she was first, so she's the winner. No, madam, you didn't smash any, but she finished first. And we're going, oh, no, Mum. Anyway, she said, oh, thank you very much. And her prize was a a vegetable rack, a metal vegetable rack full of vegetables. Yes, that was the first prize. So we had to carry this back, but you know, we'd deal with that later. And then towards the end of the show, this Charlie Chester said, "Have I been saying Charlie Chaplin all through? I'm sorry, it could well be. My brain is in a complete tiz at present, so apologies if I have, but I ain't starting again." So this guy said, "Right now, I'd like a little girl or little boy to come and join me up here." And I just sat there, and suddenly this feathered head came across, took me by the hand, and took me up onto the stage. I was used to being on a stage because I did tap and ballet, but this was in a big theatre with banks of people and little me. So he asked me a few questions. Can't remember what, but probably my name, how old I was, where I'd come from. And then he disappeared off the stage, leaving me standing there on my own. I can remember that feeling. What do I do? I felt as if I should go into one of my tap dances, but I just stood there thinking, please hurry up. Anyway, he came back with a humongous teddy bear. It was nearly the same size as me. So we'd got a wallet, a metal vegetable rack full of vegetables, and a humongous teddy bear. We went back to the bed and breakfast, and we were going home the next day. Mum and Dad gave all of the vegetables to the lady who was running the bed and breakfast, so that we didn't have to have potatoes, carrots rolling off the train as we got on, or had to, you know, catch them as they ran down the aisle in the middle of the train. Come to think of it, it'd probably be compartment trains still then, so that wouldn't have happened. So we gave those away, and going to the station, we had to get a taxi rather than walk with this teddy bear as well as the suitcases and the rack. So that was a big treat. I mean, still to this day, I rarely go in a taxi. It's high days and holidays or big emergencies that sees me in a taxi. But we got home and celebrated our success, then realised that Dad had left his wallet. Anyway, the lady at the bed and breakfast had already found it, and she let us know that she would pop it in the post. So that was an interesting holiday. But we used to walk for miles and miles, pick wildflowers, just walk along the beach, paddle maybe, but the swimming is another story. And I can't remember if I've told you that one before. So I've got over 700 recordings now. I can't remember what I've said on yesterday's, let alone one of those. So I might tell you that on another day. But for now, I will say thank you so much for joining us. Myschka, are you going to say bye-bye? Come on, let them see your beautiful face and your beautiful blue eyes, just like Charlie Chester. Maybe we should have called you Charlie, hey? No. So bye from Myschka and goodbye from me, and I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.